Hey, it's Jenna here with Geek Responsibly podcast, where we bring you the most geeky, fun, and ultra nerdy news. If it is your first time here and you don't want to miss out on the epicness that you're about to endure, make sure you hit that big red subscribe button and click that bell so you know when our new episodes are available for you. Hey guys, you're about to enter a world that we geek responsibly. This is going to be a podcast that you will enjoy for the rest of your life. Here is Jenna and Bridget. When no one is around you. It tastes like burning. That's perfect. And we are here for your pleasure. No.
Well, I can talk louder. It's gotta get off mute. Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, wait. Yes. I got brain fart. Sorry. Welcome to Geek Responsibly, episode 13 of season 2.
Yes.
That's about it.
Yeah.
Bridget's getting attacked by my cat right now.
A lot of shit's happened.
Clearly. If you are watching us on YouTube, there is a little kitten that you can barely see.
This is getting ridiculous.
He's trying to nuzzle into her body cavity.
We're becoming one.
He is my familiar, so he's making sure that everybody that comes over is okay. And he's on a ball. Look how cute he is on a ball.
He's so cute. His nails hurt really bad, but I'm okay with it.
Believe me, I'm dying. All right, so welcome, episode 13.
Yes.
I'll make sure that I don't roll over on him.
He might go for wires when they're that little.
I'm just going to hold him up here. Maybe he'll watch himself. You doing okay? We're going to put him up here. He can just hang out. So we have a ton of things that we're going to go over.
This has been an emotional week.
This has been an extremely emotional week. So I haven't talked to you since we last talked on, I think last week, Thursday
or Wednesday?
And we went over you going to Avengers Endgame right after.
Yes, because I had one sleep left. So I went and saw Avengers Endgame, and then I think that was Thursday. We had the weekend, and we had Game of Thrones on Sunday. So it's been emotionally draining, but really good. One of the girls in my work went and saw Avengers and saw Game of Thrones on the same day.
Is
That's
she
a
nuts?
lot. That was her whole day.
That's way too much.
It was a lot.
I went on Friday, and then I wasn't even ready for Sunday.
Yeah. It was weird. Like, I was excited the movie was over, and, like, I got the closure where I was really looking for, and then, like, it's like I used up all the emotion, and I was, like, dead inside for, like, 2 days. But you know what I mean? Where it's like, oh, like, is that, like, you'd be like, oh, is that a beautiful sunset? I'm like, I'm indifferent. Like, it's just, like, weird. I don't know why. Like, I was really excited. I wanted that movie, over, but at the same time, like, it took a lot out of you. It took a lot out.
There were a couple of things that I was a little bit upset about, but I don't know if it was because I went in.
My hair's a mess. Sorry.
With so much expectation of everybody.
Late at night?
Yes. I went at 10:15.
How was your experience?
Like I said, I messaged you. Flick's Brewhouse doesn't allow kids.
So how was
They literally won't let, like, they've turned people away when they brought kids.
So the problem I had for my experience is there were no kid issues.
Good.
But I felt like the movie was quiet in my theater. It was quiet. I don't feel like it got really loud until, like, later. So, like, I kept finding myself, like, leaning in going, I can't hear anything.
That's
and then
not good.
The guy next to me, I could hear all of his body functioning. Like, eating popcorn and gulping. I could hear him gulping stuff, and it was very distracting.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
By the way, they gave me a fun little Admit One Avengers, memorable ticket.
That's cool.
And I got a really cute sticker.
I survived the infinity.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, and then they had specific drinks for, like, they had...
Like themed?
Yeah. Hulk
Nice.
and the Gauntlet and all these other things. So
fun.
It was a lot of...
The experience was good then.
The experience was great. The food always there is great, but we didn't eat there. We went to Original Chop Shop first because I didn't think anybody would want to eat like late at night.
Yeah.
But then Steve, obviously, he eats like a madhouse, so he ordered pizza,
of course.
Which smelled really good, and I ordered warm cookies because I needed it.
Warm cookies.
There's 3 big warm cookies. I looked at it and I was like, yes, that. And popcorn, please.
I mean, going through that movie, I could understand why you would
warm
need
cookies.
why would you need warm cookies? Yeah.
And then you get to pick what kind. I was like, chocolate chip, please.
That's kind of amazing.
Do you have milk?
Because Mark hasn't been like, I don't think he was really wanting to go over there, but now I'm going to tell him there's warm cookies, and I think that will tip the scale.
And then there's like gluten-free food. There's tons of other stuff that they have. But again, no children.
Yeah.
And it's all brand new. And then the seats are pretty comfy, but the table is what comes out to you.
Nice.
So you know how the one that we had at Alamo...
go to the table?
Yeah, this one I could sit back and I could pull the table all the way here and I'd be like...
The amount of lazy. Like, no, I don't want to go to the table. It needs to come to me.
To me, yeah. Exactly. And then you get a little button to call them. So you can write down whatever... More warm cookies! So we don't need to go through a lot of like spoilers.
Yeah.
It may come up that there are spoilers. So if you have not seen Infinity War, what the fuck have you been doing? Because it's already been out for like 4 days.
Yeah, that's hard. That's hard.
But I must say, kudos to them for being 1.2 billion. Is the
I'm not
opening
surprised. I'm not
weekend.
surprised at all.
There is a meme going around saying that 4 million of those were Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Which made me laugh because out of all of the solemn, I could only find that one thing that was hilarious. I was devastated throughout the whole movie. I was like waiting for shit to happen.
Okay.
And I think because I went in there with the expectation that everyone was going to die and then like not a lot of people died, I was like, oh. So then I kind of was like, I don't know how I feel about this movie right now. There was really good closure, though. There were a lot of times I teared up and I cried, and then there was times when I like happy cried too, like when we get to our Now Kiss segment.
I pretty much think, besides it being a little bit quiet at the beginning of the movie, I feel like it was
really shitty. So was it just like audio?
No,
like
I just think I wanted it louder.
But it was loud.
I mean, it wasn't for me. And I had the same thing for Captain Marvel, unless I'm going deaf. I don't know.
Which theater are you going to?
The theater by my house.
Is it something that maybe is in there?
I don't think so, because I've never had issues with it. And then that time it was.
Why don't we go to the movies? We'll go to Flick's Brew House.
I need to go to the IMAX one, I think, for the next viewing of it.
The one in Arizona Mills?
Yeah, to see the big IMAX theater. But, besides that being a little bit quiet at the beginning, it starts different than I thought it would.
I can't even remember now how it starts.
Yeah.
I'm still devastated about Game of Thrones. How does it start?
God. It starts with Hawkeye.
Oh, yeah.
So it starts very different.
I actually liked that. But I didn't expect it starting there.
I liked that it started that way. Like starts there and it changes, and I didn't have any clappers at the end of the movie. I had a couple people clapping during the movie, which I'll allow it during a couple scenes.
Really?
Nothing crazy. Huh. And a couple, it was nice because there was funny scenes and you have, a whole audience laughing, so that was kind of nice, too.
Yeah.
But no one clapped at the end, which I was like,
That's
okay,
good.
I'm okay with that. But yeah, for me, it was, I think it ended perfectly. It was perfect closure. It's exactly what I needed. I can't imagine them doing it any differently.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it was perfect. Perfect! And then I had to go through the devastation of Game of Thrones, which is interesting.
Now, were there any parts in Avengers that you were like, oh my gosh, that was perfect, in the sense of I didn't expect them doing it that way, I had an idea that they were going to do it this way, but they've really executed it?
All of it. All the movie. I feel like I had an idea of what was going to happen. I didn't see the very beginning when they all come together. Are we going spoiler free or not? I don't know. Are we spoiler free today?
No, I already said spoiler.
Okay.
Hey, if anybody is currently in the process of not wanting to hear this, again, you can turn this off.
Yeah.
But by the time this airs, you should have already had time.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna spoil it. Sorry.
I wasn't I wasn't expecting them to meet Thanos in the very beginning. In the garden.
That threw me off. When they chopped his head off, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that didn't do anything because he's already destructed everything.
Yeah. I was also thrown off but pleasantly happy with Thor the entire movie.
I was thrown off.
Yeah.
I was a little upset because I wish he would just go like that. Like, he could change his hair. He changed his hair in braids, but he was fat through the whole thing.
Yeah. I was surprised it was the entire movie, but I quite enjoyed it, and I love that his character is the Ragnarok Thor, and I like that he's
sticking to it.
He's sticking to it, and then he's also going to be moving on outside of the Avengers realm for the time being.
As in that he's still planning to do movies as Thor, right?
I'm pretty sure. I think if there's going to be the Guardians one, he'll be in it, because in the comics he actually did travel around with them for a little bit.
Yeah.
But he was really, like, the thing that sucked is, like, he was really emotionally fucked up because of it.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, throughout, like, the whole movie, he's like, let me do something, let me do something. No one's letting him do anything because they're like, you're unstable. And that's pretty much
But they kind of did give him that point, and then all of a sudden he fucked that up. Because he's like, well, not really fucked it up, but he's like, I can't do this. And then he, like, left.
Yeah.
With Rocket.
He didn't really, he had that, and then we have the end.
I heard there was a
reason.
I heard there was a reason why he's like that, and it might be because of Guardians, like getting him ready for.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I didn't read that one because then
surprised.
I was involved in all of the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, I was surprised what they did with his character. I did like it throughout the whole movie, but I was really I was surprised they did that to him. But he was like that. Pretty much that comedy deflect, which I'm glad that even throughout this movie that they had moments where you could still laugh, even though it was extremely dark.
That's one of the things that I really liked about it, because there were solemn times, but then they broke it up. Like, for me, I was like, there's so many weird things, like the peanut butter sandwich. Yeah. But then when Ant-Man came and he went and ate it, I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense. So there was like some interesting parts. I was super excited. I did not have to go to the bathroom.
Yep, same here.
I was like...
I didn't eat anything the entire time.
Oh, yeah. See, I still ate and drank.
See, I didn't.
Because I was worried I was so involved that I didn't even feel anything. I was like, okay.
I was worried it was going to be a long 3 hours, but it was a very quick 3 hours. It did not feel like 3 hours. Their pacing was excellent. Yep. Absolutely excellent for it.
I don't think... Like, some people said there were parts that they wish that weren't in the movie. I don't think I can think of a point in time where I was like, oh, they didn't really need that.
Yeah.
I think everything was...
I've got one.
Which one?
Maybe I just don't remember. The girl power one. It seemed really forced.
So, I didn't like that part.
It just took me out
until somebody explained it in a different way. So, because I was like, really? Like, oh, yay, they're all women. It started getting, like, cheesy. Yeah. But that's the line that Scarlett Johansson said when Scarlet Witch was in a different position. Yeah. And she goes, she's not alone. And then when they said that, and it was all of them, I was like, okay, now I get it. So because she killed herself.
I didn't know if it was a hint to, like, the all-female Avengers team that they have in the comics. So I didn't know if it was, like, a tip to the hat to that. But, yeah, I just, like, that moment, it was kind of like everyone stand together, and it felt a little forced. Because Marvel could just move on anyway. She fucking plowed through a ship.
Well, that's what I thought. Like, she went through a ship, and then she's going to be like, oh, no, I can't get through all of this.
She didn't act like that, though. Spider-Man was like that. He's like, how are you going to get through this? And I thought she'd be like, please, and then was just going to go. But instead it was, like, everyone teaming up, which is fine. But I just felt, like, a little forced, and I was like, oh, okay. So I don't know. I did like that Thanos pulled the power glove out, or the power stone out of the glove and punched her in the face. Because that was a nice way to see someone using individual stones. Yeah. I was like, damn. Yeah. She was gone for most of the movie.
She was. I was surprised that she was gone.
Girl's busy. Yeah. But the thing is like, so my sister was calling me and asking me about it. She's like, oh, I want to see Captain Marvel before I see Endgame. Do I need to see it? And I was like, I did in that order because... that's how they were released. Mm-hmm. But I don't necessarily think you need to watch Captain Marvel before seeing Endgame. Nope.
They even made like comments like, "Oh, the next time you come back, are you going to get another haircut?" I did like that they gave her the haircut of So,
well, that 5-year jump was a very big. I was not expecting.
I was like 5 years later. What the fuck?
Yeah, like that's a long ass time.
I do think that one, I loved how they went. So the issue with the whole Tony, Captain America, I loved that they came back together.
Yeah.
And then I was not expecting him to have a baby or like a kid.
Oh, well, he's clairvoyant. He had that dream with Pepper.
Correct. Well, and I knew that was going to happen, but I was really sad and nervous because I was like, great, this is not going to bode well.
The hard part is when it came up, I thought everyone was trying to turn back time and to make it that the snap never happened, which would then erase his family, Tony's family. So when they were talking about the whole Back to the Future unrunning joke, and that's not how time travel works, essentially you have to deal with what already happened, because you can't, if you change the past and the snap never happened, then your future is no longer your future. Like,
correct.
Because it changes.
Yeah, and then
So once it was like, oh, we're going back to, we're not undo it, but we're not going further back to like stop it from ever happening. Unfortunately, it has to happen. So I don't know.
So I liked how theirs didn't go as to plan.
Yeah, it was
and
a
that
shit show.
We have Loki still with something.
Yep.
And I think that's how they're going to go over to Disney Plus.
Yeah, because he's probably in a different universe or different timeline, different strip timeline thing.
Remember how they said that they need to get all of them back in order to not have any snags?
Yeah.
I think he is one of the snags that they would never have figured out because the Hulk didn't know about it. Technically.
Oh, true. Well, I mean, yeah, and Mark was talking to me about it. He's like, well, what about Tesseract? I'm like, well, Captain America does take the Tesseract back, which then keeps the timeline exactly how it is, that Loki still steals it, and that he ends up stealing it at the end again. So, like, that's...
Yeah.
So, we'll see what happens.
So, we'll see. That's Disney Plus if you decide to pay $7.
Yeah, which is
nothing.
Which is great.
We were talking about how it was going to be like Netflix, $30.
I just logged into Netflix and it's like, oh, we're going up to $12.99 now.
Yep.
I'm like, son of a bitch.
But I mean, I'm totally going to do it because Netflix is killing it with all their original shit.
They are. They're doing a really good job.
By the way, real fast.
Yeah.
How's Sabrina?
I haven't watched since I got...
Damn it!
I haven't gotten further.
That is like the most amazing stuff ever. I'm trying to think. Okay, so... Pretty much that is like a wrap with Endgame. Yeah. I really loved how it ended. I was a little nervous in certain parts of the war. I think they did a great job. Minus the fact that Thanos was stronger even without the gauntlet.
He's a very strong and powerful being regardless in the universe. That's why Hulk was saying that he was like made to hold the gauntlet because he's as powerful or if not powerful than the Hulk.
Yeah.
Because when you're snapping your fingers, it's all that power of the universe flows through you. So it really takes the drain.
Which is why we saw Thanos burnt.
Yeah.
To a fucking crisp.
It's a little arm.
Did he have a little arm?
He did. He had like a little arm before they ran in and went chop because they didn't want him to like do anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it ended perfectly. I can't really imagine anyone else doing that, like doing the snap. I really can't. I think it was perfect.
I cried through pretty much from like
my whole. It was all quiet and I just hear everyone sniffling in the theaters. Everyone.
I was like from the war on.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was just but I didn't ugly cry, but it was just definitely like nonstop.
Yeah, just like just a stream. A stream, a river.
On my face.
Yeah, I loved it, and then coming out of it, I was like, okay, now I can enjoy movies again, because that chapter is closed. And then fucking Game of Thrones happened. Yeah.
So let's do you want to go through Now Kiss real fast and then Game of Thrones?
We can go through it really quickly because the one thing that we wanted to talk about for Now Kiss was honestly it's Marvel related, so it's actually Captain America and Agent Carter, which I want to say her name's Peggy because I really loved this couple. You see them first in the first Captain America, and what I loved about this couple too is they ended up pulling her from the movie, and she had her own series on TV called Agent Carter.
Yes.
It was like 1970s, I want to say. So in the movie, in Endgame, they do show, because they're going through time, like, they do show him go there, and he's, like, looking through the glass.
I know,
and
it
I'm
was
just
so
like,
sad.
no!
Oh, my God.
But that's, like, 10 years after they met, so girl looks great, by the way. Because I think Captain America was 1960s, and then Agent Carter was 1970s.
Nice.
But yeah, as far as, spoilers, sorry, as far as, like, the Now Kiss, Mark was telling me this, and I have to go back to see if it's true. But when he's visiting her when she's really old, in, like, the Civil War movie, or it might be his granddaughter, I'm not sure, they mention that Peggy's married, but they don't say to who. And when Falcon is talking to Captain America, saying, can you tell me about the girl? He's like, no, I'm not going to. I wonder if that was always the timeline, that she was never going to tell him that he actually came back to marry her, and he lived out his life.
Aww.
Because if you did, you change time.
You change it.
You would change time. So I'm wondering if that's, like, they planted that seed and it was always meant to be that he was always going to go back and have a life, because she never said who she was married to.
Yeah.
So
that's
very
so
interesting.
adorable. I, like, teared up while I was watching them dance together.
I was hoping that from day one. I was like, and he's like, you just gotta move on. You gotta get over it. I was like, no, you don't, man. Go back and stay.
I know. Oh, man.
Oh, so speaking of which, the other part that was kind of like, Mark thought it was a little too much was America's ass. Like, he thought that was a little much. And I was like, I
actually thought that was kind of cute.
I thought it was cute. I loved them fighting each other, because I fucking love double shields.
I can do this all day. I know you can.
Yeah. He's like, I can do this all day. I know.
I laughed. Everybody laughed in the theater on that one.
I love that. Just the way he says, like, I know. Like, it's so upset.
I felt good because I think in Infinity War, I was a little upset because, mind you, Chris Evans with a beard was fucking hot.
Yeah.
So when he came back, there was a couple of times where I thought he looked a little fake and plastic in this one.
Yeah. Which the Boy Scout.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was just because maybe they had weird makeup stuff or whatever may be the case. He kind of looked a little fat and just like orange to me, but that's just me. I always look at weird things like that. But when
freaking Thor was huge at the beginning.
I know.
And then they put him in the suit, and I was like,
where did he go?
Yeah. Because they were, well, and they also, with Tony, they have him, because he was in space, they digitally make him, like,
that was creepy,
really
because he
small.
did look really, really sick.
Yeah, really small,
which
and
I liked
sick.
that.
And then you see Thor. I'm like, fuck, he's huge. Like, just like big ass shoulders for that dude. But I gotta say, like, they all did an amazing job playing those characters for so many years.
Yeah.
Like, damn, they did a fantastic job.
Well, and so for what was it? So for Chris Evans, when he was in Infinity War, I feel like he was so hard. You know, like he was upset, he was angry with everyone, he didn't want to come back. But in this one, he almost seemed like he lightened up. It was back to them again.
It's been 5 years, and he was pretty much, what was he? He was a grief counselor.
He was, yeah.
So he pretty much is like, you need to move on. This is our world, and you need to deal with it. If we don't live, then what's the point? Because he even says that. He's like, if we can't get past this, then he might as well have taken us all out. Yeah. So, I mean, 5 years of doing that.
He started
5 years
to grow.
of living. Like, that whole world was different.
Yeah.
Like, there was that kid that Ant-Man said, hey, what's going on? The kid's like, how dare you ask me that?
Right.
Like that whole, 5 years of I thought it was a couple weeks. 5 years of putting up with that kind of world. That's intense.
I really liked how Ant-Man didn't know what was going on, and he ran to those walls.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a good part.
He has no idea.
Yeah, so that was really good. I think they did a phenomenal job. I'm super glad that in our Now Kiss segment, I agree, it was super adorable. When he came back as an old man, and
that
I was
was
just
the
like,
best.
oh!
That is the best, digital/practical older makeup I have ever seen.
Yep.
That was probably the best I've ever seen. It looks like him, but it looks like him when he's 70. The second he missed his mark and he didn't show up, I was like, I know exactly what happened. And I feel like
I didn't. So,
yeah, I knew. I was like, oh, he fucking stayed. And I think Bucky knew. I think Bucky knew exactly that he would have. No, he's gonna go and stay.
Yep.
So, and it's crazy because if the Tesseract wasn't fucked up in the first place, they would have never gone back to that specific time.
Yep.
So.
And he wouldn't have seen her and then had feelings come back and realized that there's actually a chance.
Yeah.
So he got all of the stones back where they needed to and then stayed and lived his life.
Oh, I loved it.
Yep. It was perfect.